Hello. Angel Powers. Boom, boom, boom. This is Angelica, our team is Angelica and Powers. Thank you so much for being here. Drop one in the comments if you are alive, because being alive is a blessing. And if you are new to my show, drop new in the comments. I am here in Asheville, North Carolina. So drop in the comments, city, state, country, their connection, how close or how far we are. And today I'm gonna share my story and why you need to find the roots of your your story, right? Find the roots of your family, because I'm in a process of healing myself. I'm in the process to know my roots. I'm in the process of healing for sure. So to give you like a quick overview, um, I've been growing as a person since 2014, and last year I started with a condition on my shoulders that is not common. There's not too much research about it, and some information in books and people say it's about emotions or it's your hormones, but there's nothing like concrete. So that made me dig into my emotions, dig in my past. So I didn't grow up with a father. I used to say I didn't have a father. Like, yes, we have a father and a mother because we were created, a woman and a man got together and voila, you're here. So now I say I didn't grow up with my father. So I watched this Netflix series that I will recommend you to watch. It is called Another Self. So I'm in that discovery of me, who is Angelica, and my father, because I didn't grow up with him. So I watched the Netflix series Another Self, and the same day that I finished, like the last episode, I was like, I'm gonna find information about my father, because I had the name of a cousin. So I reached out to her. She told me just a little bit, but not the information that I wanted, because I wanted to know about, the grandpa, the grandma, how they got married, how they grow up, the kids, how many kids they have, and all that information. But she was not willing to do that. And how I found her on Facebook, because I knew her name. So I just looked for her name on Facebook. I found her. And then, of course, you can start like digging, and I found a cousin who lives in Miami. I reached out, but no information. He was like, yeah, he was my uncle. He passed away. I know he died in 2001, right? Mm-hmm. So I was like, come on, I need to have more information about me, about my father. You know why? Because my mother's side, like I kind of don't relate with them, because I'm different, because I am loud, because I'm here on social media, because I have big dreams, because I have so many blessings. I have the money, I have the houses. We have, two cars, not the cars, like two cars, like one for us, but one for me. So I have so many things, so many blessings. Even though I have this condition with my shoulders, I'm blessed with my health, because this frozen shoulder has been a blessing. It's been helping me to grow so much, and dealing with pain. I feel like I'm stronger. So then my mother's family side is like, why you're looking for more? Why you're not satisfied? Why you're not grateful? And sometimes people think because I want more, it's like I'm not grateful for what I have. It's like, no, you're wrong. I'm very grateful every single day. I even have a notebook. I write my gratitude things every single day, every other day. I am so grateful for all the things that I have, but I know I can have more, because there's a limit, period. So that's why I'm telling you, you need to find the roots so you can identify maybe with your mother's or father's side, the one that you don't know about them. So in my case, it's my father's side. So thank God, God works in mysterious ways. I have a classmate, I have a friend from high school that I remember No. Hold on. Let me tell you. So I was going through Facebook, my cousin's Facebook, and I saw a picture of my friend, classmate from high school. I was like, oh, the first thought it was because her husband is a pastor and they believe in God. I'm like, maybe it was my aunt's birthday, and kids were in the picture with my aunt, father's side. And I was like, oh, maybe goes to their church. So maybe that's why they're in the celebration. But then in my mind, I remember my friend's husband has the same last name as my father. And I was like, is that just like a clue that he's part of the family, or is just the same last name? Mm-hmm. Coincidence, right? I was thinking about casualty. I don't know. I couldn't find the word. So I text her and I say, hey, is your husband's related to my to this last name, to this family, to this particular person? And she said, yes, that's my husband's uncle. He passed away. And I was like, he's my father. So, when I say he's my father and I'm looking for information about the family because I want to heal. I have some chronic pain, I have some chronic inflammation, and I want to know if that's part of my healing, to know about my father's side. And she's like, oh my God, I'm so excited. We're related. And yes, my husband will help you. My husband will tell you everything he knows because he did the work for generational courses. Because when you watch the Netflix series Another Self, you would learn how important is to find out about those generational courses. You're going to find out you had to heal so much from the past. And we're so ignorant. And I was very ignorant, and I'm still ignorant. That's why I need to learn something new every single day. Because I always said, my father's family, my father's DNA is not going to affect me, period. Like he gave the DNA for my eyes, my skin, my hair, whatever. But nothing is going to affect me because I didn't live with him. I didn't grow up with him. I didn't have connection with him. I didn't have a connection with his family. So nothing that they did in the past is going to affect me, period. That was my ignorance. But after watching this Netflix series, I was like, oh my gosh, I need to find out the story of my father. And then, thank God, God works in mysterious ways. I love him. I work for him. So I know he gives me so much. And he gave me so many answers. So I talked to my cousin through WhatsApp. He lives in Colombia. He's a pastor. And he did the work. He did the generational courses. He went and find out the house where my father grew up, where grandpa and grandma raised the kids. He went to that house, and he was like in the mountain, like there's no road to get to the house. And he told me the story, how they moved from one city to another, and they start growing and they start building businesses, and how my father was an entrepreneur, and how my father was like a huge kind of entrepreneur in that area. So when he started telling me about those things about my father, I was like, that's why I'm like this, because of his DNA, because he was ambitious, because he wanted the money, he wanted to grow businesses. And of course, when you grow businesses, you help people, you hire people, you give the opportunity to people to grow. And I'm like, okay, wow, what a relief that now I know my father plays a role in this, in this. So when people say, why you here? Why you do those things? Because I have the DNA of entrepreneurship from my father. And his family are entrepreneurs too. I was like, wow, amazing, amazing. So that's why I'm going to be here teaching you and sharing everything that I learned because this is new for my life. And I found healing from this digging. Is it painful? Yes, it is painful. Like it's kind of scary to text someone to say, "Hey, you're my cousin," and they could say like, "Who are you?" Because how many times just people think, "Oh, you just want the money," because my father had the money. I didn't get a penny from his inheritance because I didn't have his last name. And then I found out that my lawyer, I don't know how to say that in English. He got paid to not represent me in the case. So I lost everything. So I don't know how much money was involved in the inheritance, but probably it was good money. But thank God I know how to make money because I have his DNA. And maybe the other person who got the money doesn't have his DNA in the way that I have it. So this is freaking a blessing that I have his DNA, that I have kind of his brain to know about business. There are things that I think about businesses that amaze me. And I'm like, I haven't read that. I haven't taken a class about business, but I know it from the inside because of his DNA. And the other person who got the money, probably that person has to put money in those lawyers to get all the money from my father because she doesn't have this entrepreneurship DNA. It's unbelievable. This is just, that just came to my mind. That's the best inheritance that I received from him. The DNA of entrepreneurship. Wow, amazing, beautiful. So I want you to dig into your past. If you didn't have a mother, or if you didn't have a father, or if you have them, but something happened with them and they left you for some reason, find the answers. Like don't judge, because when you start judging, then you're gonna hurt yourself more. It's just with open heart, find out why you didn't stay with me. What did you had to leave? So many reasons. Because during this weekend I was in a training, and we had some training, and then we were in break rooms, and then we had to share, and we had to, yeah, to share what's going on into our lives depending on the training that we just had. So we had this guy, and he said, I was adopted, so I needed to know about my mom. But then when I found my mom, my biological mom, she was dead. So I don't know anything about her. So that is so painful because you want to know where you come from, period. You're human. Because in my mind, like before, the Angelica from probably last year, I was like, I don't care about my father's side. Like, no, he just donated and is, I don't know how to say that in English, or somebody's not here. He just donated the little thing so I can be here in this world, and that's it. But now I know it is important in my life so I can heal those things in my heart so I can keep growing. And I don't want to have, feelings of like why he was not with me, why he didn't give me his last name, why he chose to be with himself and not me, why he didn't marry my mom, blah 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 blah. So many questions. So now I have some answers. And then again, I used to judge him, not anymore. because I realized if I judge his decision, I hurt myself. I'm like, I'm in peace with him. I'm very grateful that he was my father. Now I call him my father. I used to just call him by his name because I was like, he was not my father. He was not in my life. He doesn't deserve that. But then now I'm learning I need to call him like that because he's my father. And when I say he's my father, I just heal more. I heal myself into another layer. And it's freaking amazing the way you grow. So, my invitation for you is to watch this Netflix series. It is called AnotherSelf. I will have a picture how it looks on Netflix so you can search it quicker. It is translated in so many languages, so many languages. So I don't want you just to watch the Netflix series like, oh, it's like a movie. No, like watch it with meaning. Like, how can I heal myself with this information? How can I dig into my emotions? How can I dig if I have a pain that it's been for years, and ask yourself why I have overweight, why I had pain in my hips since I was 20, why I'm carrying this pain for so many years, and when I go to the doctor, they they can find a solution. Just take this pill and that's it. Go back to the roots of your life. Ask your mom, your dad, your sisters, your brothers, whoever is in your past. Ask what happened when I was a child. What happened? Because so many times we don't know things because we were little kids, that they could say, oh, when you were like 1 year old, this and that happened. And you can start kind of so within your own life and find the answers so you can feel better. So now I have a connection with my cousin. He spent 5 hours, 5 hours with me. We had a face-to-face conversation. We laughed, we cried, and for me, I feel it was like a relief on my shoulders. I was like so peaceful. I was like, this is freaking amazing to know things about my father and finding so many answers that I have for myself. Like, Angelica, why you're here? Why you think like this? Why you do this? Now I found the answers because of my father. I have his DNA. I think like 99% of his DNA. Because it's difficult for me to align with my mom's side, family side, because we're not alike, because I'm too cuckoo, I am too much, I am too loud. So maybe in your family they could say, oh, you're like this, like you're not like your brother, you're not like your sister. Find out why. Maybe it was not because of your father or mother, maybe because it was your grandpa, your grandma, who knows. Down the line it was someone like you, and you are stronger with that DNA. And like, thank God, my cousin went through the study of the family, and he found out about the generational courses, because he was an alcoholic, he used drugs, and he got to one point when my father died because of cirrhosis, because he was drinking, I think every single day. And he got to the point to say, okay, my uncle died, it was another uncles that died, and he was like, not anymore, like, I want to cut this with me. I want to cut the generational courses. I don't want my kids to live the same way. So he did everything, and I'm so relieved that he took the time, because for me I was like, I want to heal for real. So if I had to go to Colombia and I had to find more answers, I will. But thank God he did it for me. He did it for the other generations to come. So that's my story. Feel free to share everything you find on my social media. Feel free to ask questions. if you feel like, oh, I need to know more about this, because maybe you are related with some parts of my story. So just be aware that I'll be sharing more things about my healing process, and maybe that healing process will help you, because that's my intention. I want you to be better, to feel better, to live a life full of joy. Because right now in my life, I have more joy and more joy. Why? Because I'm taking the time to heal. I'm taking the time to dig. Even if it is painful, I know when it is painful, because I'm removing all those things, then I will see the rainbow. Then I will see more happiness and feel more happiness. And when I heal myself, I can heal you. So we can heal together. We heal the world. Okay. So that's my message for today. I'm here on Facebook and YouTube. So make sure you find me on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Clapper, and YouTube. Thank you so much for being here. This is Angelica Ortiz, Angelica Powers. Bye. Ciao. Bye, YouTube. Bye, Facebook.